If you didn't know by now, 2023 is officially the year of the BSUN. Starting with the BSUN X earlier this year, BSUN has made their name for affordable linear switches with a great stock experience. But I have to say, it's gotten pretty hard reviewing switch after switch that overall has a very similar sound and feel. This is the Zuoce Lavender switch, which is an exclusive switch to Keebz N Cables from the land down under. And there's at least one thing that makes this switch different from any other BSUN switch available on the market, at least on paper. So let's talk about them right after you land your finger down under that like button. The Zuoce Lavender, not to be confused with the JWK manufactured Lavender switch sold by Canon Keys, is a BSUN manufactured long pole linear with a full palm housing and an LY stem. Total travel is 3.4mm, and the spring is a 21mm long double-stage spring with a 48-gram actuation force and a 53-gram bottom out. Before we go any further, let's take a listen to these switches stock. I've been thinking of bringing back switch reviews in different keyboards so you can get a better understanding of how any switch might sound in a build that's similar to your own. Let me know what you think in the comments below. First, we have the mode tempo 60% with a carbon fiber plate. Keycaps are GMK panels. Here's a typing test. I don't really need to say anything about the stock experience of these switches, which is phenomenal as always. Next, let's take a listen to these switches in the GeonWorks F188 with an aluminum plate. Keycaps are Thocctober Violet on Cream, which are double shot ABS and definitely give GMK a run for their money. Here we go. The switches sound really good in different boards, and I have to say that the sound signature overall is a little on the clacky side, which is to be expected of a long pole linear. I think in a board like the F1, they really shine and have a deep sound signature without sounding too muted due to the long pole. What makes this switch special is the LY blend that's being used, which has been designated Z1 and has apparently been reserved by BSUN for Zuoce Studio. Now, there isn't too much info on Zuoce Studio on the internet, but they do have a Chinese Z Frontier profile, and from the looks of it, they're a keycap and switch design studio that's released at least a few different switches to market, like the Rococo and the Daibai. Until I started writing this review, I'd never heard of their work, but let me know if you've tried any of their other switches out. Now, one thing I wanted to address is LY, as we've seen it in quite a few switches, especially BSUN switches on this channel. But in preparing this review, I realized that I didn't know exactly what LY was, and there really isn't a definitive answer. Trawling through different IC posts from various vendors, LY is palm mixed with UPE or PTFE, and was first seen in the JWK manufactured SOTCs. Interestingly, according to Dashon from Unikeys, BSUN's LY formulation differs from JWK's due to different blend ratios between plastics, which create different sound signatures. I was pretty excited to try out this Z1 blend to see if there was a noticeable difference between the Anaya switches, which also share a full palm housing and an LY stem, with the Zuoce Lavenders. To see if there was a difference, I took the stems out of the Anayas and put them in the Lavender housings. Let's see if we can hear a difference. So while this isn't exactly a one-to-one comparison, because as you can see from this photo, the stems are different thicknesses, it's the closest thing we can get to a true comparison of LY and Zuoce's special Z1 LY blend. I don't know how well it'll come out over YouTube compression, but there is a very slight difference in how the two sound, with the Z1 blend and the Lavender sounding slightly lower pitched. On the other hand, I'd be willing to bet the slight difference in tone is also due, at least in part, to the slightly longer travel on the Lavender stem at 3.4mm versus 3.2mm on the Anayas. Overall, it's pretty much a wash, and I don't know if there's really anything too unique about Zuoce's Z1 blend. It's a cool concept, but I'd have to see housings made of the Z1 to really be able to tell a difference, so I'll mark it as inconclusive on the snake oil meter for now. Overall, the Zuoce Lavenders are yet another solid BSUN switch, and at 50 cents per switch, they're in line with other BSUN's pricing. One last thing that I was worried about was shipping costs from Australia, but at least for 90 switches, shipping came out to only $10, which is once again in line with buying from any North American vendor. So that's a definite plus. Overall, if you haven't tried any BSUN switches by now, I'd say you should definitely jump on the hype train before it leaves the station, as who knows what 2024 is going to bring. Check out some more keyboard content here. I'm MakerMods, and I'll catch you in the next video.